Alright, boys, let's do some commentary on Vykas Normal. So check this out. It feels like majority of it might be at like 1445 range like me. Well, you won't have full relic set, you might have like 2 relic sets, right? So I'm obviously about at least 15 times stronger than no, not 15 times, 15% more stronger, probably like 20-ish. But if you have level 7 gems, but I have level 5 gems, right? So it kind of balances out. So maybe I'm like 10-15% more stronger than majority of the NA players that are going to be in this item level. Yeah, I'm assuming about 20 to 25% at least. Because full relic, there's a huge power spike. I got the card set that gives this is 15% plus another 10% against Vykas. My gems are much lower than you guys because I've seen majority of the NA players have level 7 gems when I did the build review. And my engraving is just a 4-3s. As in Grudge, Master of Ambush, Class 3, Death Blow, and then I have Spirit of Sorcery. Why are you going Spirit of Sorcery? Why could you go, can't you go Adrenaline? True, you can go Adrenaline, but I like being faster better. Yeah, the biggest difference between myself and NA is the full relic set and then the cards. And that itself is like really huge. So the damage that I'm getting is possibly way higher than some of you guys, but you guys back that up with a little bit higher item level. Anyways, so technically I've been running normal Vykas 1430 with full legendary, but I still had the cards, but you know, in terms of damage differences, they were still fine. The biggest lack of damage that people that happens here is not being able to hit your skills. That's about it. Because the bosses just move too much. So when you start, you have to choose a corner. I'm gonna choose this corner this time. The 1 o'clock corner. So everyone just chooses a corner because they're all experienced. I'm the raid leader at the moment. So at the start, it's very simple. The guy comes down. You put it down to about 55 lines. And then he's going to split off, right? But all these normal attacks are about the same. Just 55 lines. And then he's going to the next phase. This kick hurts, by the way. But most of you have it as like 44 maybe sometimes. Alright, let's see. I am in the purple zone now. This is called the Lust Zone. And the Lust Zone usually has the Esther, because you start with 60 lines again. But the guy that started on the blue zone, we call them the pleasure zone, they're still at 47. So I'm going to use the Ninabe like when it happens. So here you can just circle around about this range so that it's either inside safe or outside safe. It's random. That's why you want to stay there a little bit. And when he does a dash like that, he's going to turn around and do an attack on a cone, and it's backwards. So someone like an Entropy takes a bit of a hard time because you can't really because always attacks are frontal, so I can't see. I stay behind them, he scratches, and then I'm behind them here like this, right? And I get hit. So that's why Entropy is taking a little bit of harder time trying to figure things out. So the other party told us to go out, so we're going out. Boom. The other party is doing the mechanic, that's why they told us to. So Esther is ready. So there are a couple of Esther combinations. You can use Esther here, but I didn't use it because I thought it wasn't going to land it because it was a little slower. So this thing, you see him do the laser and he teleports. Esther lands 100% of the time, so you can just do it there. When he sees him doing the laser, he's going to teleport. That's the most well-known Esther spot. And then when he does that 2 slashes, always think that he's going to do a cross attack. So he's going to do this 3 laser. He's going to teleport once, do the lines, and then teleport it, and then do the pizza attack. And you can't really do anything as a back attacker. And when he does that scratch like this, he's going to teleport and do a scratch again, like that, right? So Hitmaster classes tend to have a better time here. And then when he does that, spikes, dodge the spikes, get inside. And then these donuts just stay outside, and you have to like not panic, and then just let the things drop and move back and forth so that everyone has some more room to breathe. It's backwards. So now at bar 30, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer my Esther to party 2, because the party 2 is at the lust dimension now, so he's going to use it. You gotta communicate that as well as a team, because you need to use your Esther Ninabe at the lust dimension, because lust dimension is a little bit tougher. So here, stay around like about this, and then it's either random, inside save, outside save. That's why you kind of like circle around in this position. So this is where he causes the 4 magic circles that isn't going to tell you. It's at 6 o'clock, so you're gonna type 6, right? Because 6 o'clock is the safe zone. Dodge the spikes and then just walk away. I got hit there, okay, but it doesn't hurt as much. So when he does that 2 scratches, think that he's going to do the cross. So this one, when he jumps away like that, just keep moving. You won't get hit as much unless you're a very slow character. This is including spec crit sorceresses. They get hit because they're too slow. So this thing is backwards, like that. That's why people get confused. In this section, it's confused. It's backwards, so it gets confused a little bit. So when he goes to the center like this and the orange bar appears, make sure you stagger in time too. Throw those whirlwind bombs. And then I have a black orb in front of my head, so I'm going to stand either 7 or 11. 1 or 7. And then just block these orbs. It's like a Simon Says thing. You can look at the Simon Says and figure it out. There are multiple ways to do it. What I do is I just look at it and then block it in time. So this pattern again, stay around this side. See, I'm inside. This is random, by the way. This is random, guys. You gotta watch out. Now when he's at 5 bars and ahead, what he's going to do is he's going to go mini berserk. He moves faster. He just does more damage and overall. So when he's dead, yeah, you just have to wait. So when he's dead like this, you just have to wait until the other party finishes it. Both parties need to finish it. Now look at this. We are standing in this position. The guy's gonna include this thing anyways. But you make a plus sign here. And then you do 11, 3, and then 7. When people choose decisions on 11-1, 11-2, 11 spare, 5-1, 5-2, 5 spare. Apparently I'm a spare from 5 to 7 o'clock. You'll say it when I ever upload a guide, but this is like, it's not, I don't have a guide video uploaded yet. But these are the scratches. You can't stay in the front. If you can stay in the front, you're going to die because you're going to get shotgunned in the face. Okay, I'm 5'2". We're communicating a little bit. Alright, these golden rings, you just have to dodge it. But if you get hit, you get stunned, right? But you can't panic. Don't panic and wait a little bit and spacebar out of it because it gives you enough time. And this is where the Descaluda lasers. You gotta control where you are. It's like trafficking. And this is a counter. When she does a kick like that, like a little Chun-Li kick, that's a counter 100% of the time. But don't stay in the front because you're gonna get hit by the rings. Now I'm in this side. This is either going to be folded or... It's going to be folded. Now, these are 3 reds. That's why we go to the double open wing position. And this is the half wing position, and then this is the folded wing position. It's dependent. If there are 3 purples, you start from 3. And then go to 11 and then 7. I gotta say a little faster, but I couldn't. And then, you know, when she does that 3 attacks over there. And teleporting. Gotta move back a little bit. Yep. She's doing the counter again. See? But sometimes her counter is on cooldown. So if she does it again, like very fast, you actually have to watch out. Because what she's going to do is you can't counter her. And she's gonna shotgun you in the face. Most people die because of that too. Giving people some room to breathe. Nice. So I have the poop here. And then Worm's gonna come out. So someone got stuck. And then we have to free them. So if you get caught by that worm, you gotta, what happens is you're going to get, call it. You're going to get stuck and teammates will need to free you by attacking that worm. And this thing, if you run on a clockwise formation and then dodging accordingly, is probably the easiest part. But if you can't, time stop is also good too. So you said I was 5 too, right? So 5 o'clock is red, black, red, black, red. So what I need to do is I need to take the second black. So it's red, black, right? Red, black, red, and then black over here. They're all black, so you get confused. But you get up to 2 blacks and then 3 blacks. And if 2 black orbs kind of go in, maybe more than 2, you just get an automatic wipe. Normal's much more forgiving than hard. Hard is 1 black orb going in by accident, you get a wipe too. So it's a lot less forgiving. Alright, let's go loot the lines again. Now here, make sure you don't get hit by those two, like just what happened there. So from this point on, her wings are broken and stuff, right? If you get hit way too many times, it generates a poop, like Lugaro's line thing for the bleed. So the second gate and the third gate is where it gets kind of confusing. So I guess like if you look at it later, after looking at a guide, you'll probably understand a little more. And then third gate, you make sure you take sleep bombs and time stops too. It depends what kind of strategy people do, but most people, pugs in Korea, they use the time stop strategy. This is the buff that Vykas sends to me on the second gate. So if I get hit 3 times, this disappears and I generate a poop. That poop that you have to throw it away. A pool. So this one at the start, what she's going to do is she slashes 3 times. Sometimes she attacks back, sometimes she attacks front. It gives a tell right there. But it's in general, it's good to stay behind her back. Now I got my peanut butter here. We call that peanut butter. So peanut butter is going to make us slow. So she mind controls us all and pulls us to the center, right? Since we're slowed down because of the peanut butter, like we're not going to go into the middle for that guaranteed kill. So when she does that big pizza, always go to the other side because she doesn't attack the second spot twice. Now when she disappears, we have this thing. This is 10 o'clock. The reason why we know is because most people, we did it so many times that we memorized it. When my lust bar is at pink, we only see swords, and the swords are going to be like here, 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 right? And the swords and the statues kind of collide, intersect. That's the safe spot. So what other people need to do at NA is they need to deliberately fill up their lust gauge up to pink so that they can see the swords and everyone else see the statues. So if everyone gets hit, you only see swords, so you can't find that puzzle anymore. And when we were before doing this, your lust gauge needs to be 0 in order for you to do the proper the quick time mechanic. if your lust gauge is filled up even at least one, what happens is you can't do the quick time enough. It goes out so fast to a point that you can't solve it. So one person failed. If person fails, like what the supports do is you have to cast your awakening so that we take less hit. Okay. And then slashes twice, and then she falls down. This is where you use your need to be, but yeah, there you go. But he uses it a little bit slower. You have to use it a little bit faster than need to be. But this is the need to be timing. So after this, after when this is over, we deliberately have to get mind controlled here. Why? Is because she's going to do a guaranteed AoE attack that kills us all. So we get into her side on purpose so that we don't die. So if you look at here, this explosion, if you're not mind controlled, you die. You straight up, it's a wipe. So here again, we will have to take away our lust gauge again and go to the middle and stagger. The reason why is because this zone gives us stagger, gives us the lust meter automatically. And when we do that, you see this thing, you have to see it glow and then use your time stop to dodge his attacks. And then you start the fight again. And then we're gonna see the peanut butter again, the peanut butter mechanic. This is a counter. So when she circles around like that really fast, it's a counter, but she appears in one of us as a aggro. So it's important for it to be on the guard and get ready to counter. So this time I don't have the peanut butter, so I'm gonna take away this wind buff away and then go to the peanut butter. What happens is if you're in the peanut butter and then the wind buff is mixed up, people are gonna zoom into her and everyone's going to die. And the next mechanic is at 50 line where she's gonna spawn a bunch of tentacles. And what you need to do is you need to fill up your lust gauge to pink in order for you to do damage to the tentacles. So you kind of want to get it ready here, and then she spawns a bunch of orbs, right? So you go here, you eat some of these, and I get red. So I'm gonna use my ultimate right here, and then destroy both of the tentacles. So you see this guy here? So he got mind control, so we killed him because he's a troll in the Korean party. But you can use your sleep bomb too. If you eat the orbs too much, what's going to happen is your simp meter is gonna fill up, and you gotta be mind controlled. And if you're mind controlled, the only way to do it is stun them, or use the sleep bomb. That's why we take sleep bombs. But sometimes, you know, everyone's so expert here in the Korean pugs, we just kill them because we don't really need them at this point. Alright, so 17 bars. So before we reach her berserk mode, we have to throw away all their lust meter. Right? But if you get your lust meters to 0, you do less damage. You gotta keep that in mind as well. Way less damage. So you have to have at least 1 or 2 stack of lust meter. And then when she goes to berserk mode, she's going to be in the middle. And you have to look at the map. Look at the map here. She's gonna appear in one of these. Oh, so she appeared at 3. So we're gonna look at 3. This is a Medusa ring. Boom. If you get hit by this Medusa, a bunch of your lust meter is gonna get filled. So you have to watch out, right? And here, you're doing your stagger. So Wei's not filled up yet. So he's gonna do. The raid leader's probably gonna do Wei in the middle. So in order for you to find out which is which, is you'll if you look at kind of slowly, she comes by scratching her sword, like while riding her sword. That's how you tell between the inside and outside. All right, way up, and then stagger, and then you're donezo. Yeah, if everyone knows what they're doing, it's very easy. Yeah, like it's pretty hard to tell all commentary when it's happening, but it's like a mixture while doing it as a striker. Not striker commentary. Okay, good. That was it. That was 14:45, but the party itself was very strong, so it finished a little faster. But it is just to show you the major gimmicks and how people are behaving. As always, thanks guys. Bye. Bye YouTube.